This program was made possible with the continued support of the TonyBet affiliates. Hello, friends. Can I be completely honest with you for just a moment? I am sick and damn tired of coming out here week after week and talking about the UK online gambling industry and the Commission trying to destroy it. And yet, every time I go to script a show, every time I look at the news affecting affiliates, there they are with their fat ass parked right in the middle of everything. And unfortunately, the British industry is one of the most, if not the most, important markets in this business. And what happens in the United Kingdom tends to influence other markets who just can't seem to think for themselves. But let's remember, the UKGC is empowered by Parliament, and as such, they are a political body, and political institutions oftentimes have agendas. As such, I found it quite interesting that the Commission has now turned their attention to flawed methodology when it comes to gathering data on the black market. Roughly translated, flawed methodology means that the data the Commission has collected does not exactly jive with their political agenda. And you can see that this is politics by the verbiage the Commission uses, because now the UKGC is turning to what's being called data analytics in order to protect players. There's that political term. No matter what they do, no matter how many rights they take away, no matter how much privacy they invade, they are protecting players. How are they protecting players? By steering enforcement. Steering enforcement? Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all, does it? Steering enforcement, roughly translated, and from what I can tell, means real-time tracking of online betting activity, which has already been going on. But that's not even the disturbing part. You see, the UKGC wants to expand their gambling surveillance of the industry with plans to target illegal operators and cryptocurrency, and to focus on cohort gambling. What the hell is cohort gambling? I looked it up. Google doesn't even know what it is. But Mr. Rhodes said it, and it seems to be a way of grouping players by behaviors and or ages in order to identify risk patterns in advance, which would seem to indicate that the Commission wants to regulate the industry based on what players might do in the future rather than what they have done in the past. Oh my goodness. Now, I don't know if this is more 1984 George Orwell or if it's more Tom Cruise Minority Report, but I do know that this steered enforcement has already led to a 300% rise in criminal cases, which has the Commission Chief, Andy Rhodes, very excited. So much so that he didn't even need that little blue pill last night. Oh, goodness. Have I said too much? Welcome back. Just in case you're on the fence about the assertion that the UKGC is targeting online gambling and, in my opinion, wanting to greatly diminish, if not destroy it, we turn to this little gem of an article right here. 2 weeks ago on this program, we spoke about the impacts of raising taxes on our industry. Again, in addition to all the other taxes, duties, fines, and levies, data was presented to the Treasury Committee showing how more taxes would cost jobs, hurt families, and possibly even decimate our business. Not only could the committee care less about the people involved, not only are they steady on their course of raising taxes, possibly up to 50% in some cases, but they actually said a tax hike was unlikely to drive players offshore. Yeah. So they, the Treasury Committee, quite literally are too stupid to learn from the past. And I'm being polite when I say they're stupid. But that's not even the disturbing part. The committee also thinks that online gambling should be singled out as being more addictive, promoting harm, and having no benefit to the greater community. Now, you could argue the merits of their assertions if you want to, but what you can't do is argue that they're not targeting online gambling. Even having the commission publish a new report on the dangers of web-based black market betting, even though, in the words of the UKGC chief Andy Rhodes, the threat of the black market is overstated. Remember those words, Mr. Rhodes? Yeah, they're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. However, what the UKGC is doing is increasing surveillance of the black market, publishing propaganda to discourage you from visiting the black market, spending money to study the black market, and implementing regulations to try to stop the black market, plus geo-blocking, as we discussed on our last program. And my friends, that's a hell of a lot of work for something that's just overstated. So, if you ever wonder why I call the commission liars, or why I say they're targeting online gambling, it's because of shit like this. Their actions betray them, and they're too dumb to even realize it. So, I'm gonna go, as usual. I need a couple of Tylenol after this, but I'll be back next week, rain or shine. No bloopers this week. Not that I didn't mess up. I did. You may have noticed in the first half of the show that I kind of flubbed a word, but I just kept going because this sucks. This sucks. And I didn't want to film again. But I did bring my umbrella because, you know, this isn't my first time.